Okay, welcome back again. Today the Premier League has finished and we have a lot of news and a lot of breaking news. Some of you must have already known, but some of you might not know. This is why we're bringing the news, so that in case you don't know, you don't know. And now you know, right? So, excuse me, I just ate. So, the Premier League has ended today. So much happened. The fight for European qualification between Brighton, Brentford, who else? Crystal Palace. I forgot who. Even Chelsea. Chelsea missed out completely. And then fight for relegation. Tottenham versus West Ham. Ultimately, it was West Ham that went down after 14 years. Let's dive right into it and understand how this happened for West Ham, and then see how it looked as of today. But there's nothing to do about that. West Ham has to play in the championship for next season going forward, except if they pick themselves up and bring themselves back up the next season. But as you all know, the championship is one of the toughest place to play and the toughest competition or league, if you would want to call it that. So it will be tough, but I believe that West Ham will just bring themselves back up next season. All right. So now, Callum Wilson drilled home a stunning long-distance strike to put West Ham 3-0 up against Leeds on Sunday. That did not help anything because we all know, yes, they won their game, they did their job, but it was out of their hands. They needed Tottenham to lose, and it didn't happen. David Moyes could not have done anything. He couldn't do anything. His players were not up to it. So they didn't do anything. There was no helping hands. Nuno Espirito Santo and his team were hoping for a certain David Moyes to provide a helping hand, and ultimately that didn't show up. The helping hand was never offered. Maybe it was offered, but it was never materialized into the results, right? Well, this is their 15th year and they are going down after 15 years of being steady in the top flight of English football. Now they will be making a championship return, because I was watching those two games, I was watching it in parallel, one here, one here. Once I saw that Tottenham has scored by Paulinho, the ball that almost got cleared off the line, but it still went in, right? When I saw that, I knew that West Ham are going down, because it would take Everton to score 2 goals. That means to beat Tottenham on the day. A draw would not even help West Ham because the goal difference is massive. It was massive. Like, West Ham was like -20 goal difference. So it was not helping them, right? So they actually needed Tottenham to lose, like actually lose, for them to get anywhere close to that, close to the, to being safe. And that didn't happen, right? When the full-time whistle blew in East London, Spurs were still playing at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and the reason why that happened is that at the start of the second half, the assistant referee had a technical problem with the technology, the devices that they put in their body for communication. There was a technical problem with that. And that took a whole 5-6 minutes for them to rectify and fix it before the game started. That means the other game in the East London side, which is West Ham, had already gone 6, 5, 7 minutes in. So it was not synchronized. So I think for next season, on the last day like this, the league should make sure that everyone is ready to go. Check all your devices, all your equipment, technology, everything is good. Second half, we blew the whistle at the same time. Maybe a difference of 1 minute or 30 seconds. so that everything will be fairly played out, right? But I'm not saying that that was the reason. I'm just saying that that was the reason why West Ham game finished before Tottenham. So, despite the comprehensive 3-0 victory, West Ham players knew that they had been relegated. They dropped to the turf in desolation before an emotional lap of honor, where you could feel that several players from this squad might just have been waving their goodbyes. It's possible that they're waving their goodbyes because a lot of players don't like to go down with a relegated team, you know, because it kind of big players playing in the Premier League for several years and getting relegated. It's just a few that might stick with it. A lot of them will look to see their options. I'm sure when you sign in a Premier League team, there's an option that if we get down to relegation, you can trigger your exit. So I'm sure he has to be there somewhere. You cannot hold them captive, right? So even though, because of their non-performance, that's how they got into the relegation anyway. So I'm not sure that's a fair situation for the owners as well, and the club itself and the fan base. So I'm not sure what to think about that. The message for Nuno Espirito Santo was clear when the team news trickled around the ground. Get back to basics. After a terrible defensive showing against Newcastle, he reverted back to a good old-fashioned 4-4-2, a formation that he trusts. No Callum Wilson was an interesting call, with Pablo yet to score in the league for the club, and the ever-energetic Tati getting the nod in a 2-up front. Well, that tactic did actually work. It actually worked. They won the league. They won the game 3-0, but it was not enough. So this is all I have to say because I can't read the whole thing. I know there's a lot to talk about here. There's a lot to talk about here, but I just know that a lot would unfold at West Ham over the summer. A lot of players will be leaving, and a lot of players would actually stay to try to fight back. But if I'm the club owner, if there's a way I can convince those players, the same players, group of players, to stay and fight, they will be back to the Premier League next season. But that's a tough call. But that's the news, my friends. I just wanted to say and tell you and let you know that West Ham have been relegated today, and they will be playing in the championship. All right, so that's the news. Tell me how you feel about this. Comment, leave a comment, and subscribe. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. See you in the next one. Bye.